may present themselves. Even just forcing Sven to use those stuns defensively when you go on the Viper and push Viper away from creeps. There's ways for them to win this lane even with a Bristle and the Viper.
There it is, Exort Invoker. This is a classic of Stormstormer. He used to do this. This is when really this guy showed up on the map for me, big time. And same thing with Fishman and Amara, because Amara, I don't believe he was on the roster at the time, because it would have been Ace, as well as Rasmus, who's now coaching at this event for TSM. I'm talking about the old Hellbear Smashers. If you never got a chance to watch some of these guys play, I believe they had Milan position 4, and Ace safe lane on Ember Spirit was usually what they did, and they would lane an Ember Spirit with Mirana to set up for Stormer, Exort, Invoker, Sunstrikes all throughout the game. The combo, it's not as good here, I will say, but you've got some pretty mean slows, a really reliable stun on the Sven, and of course eventually a Dismember to come through. It throws me back to those days is what I'll say about it.
We're in for a fun one, I feel like, either way. This guy is the complete specialist when it comes to the Invoker, so very much excited to see. I can't believe his Dota buff, he's only level 5 Invoker. That seems wrong.
Yeah.
This is his hero.
I'd agree. He definitely passes the Amara test, so to speak, on Stormstormer. As we'll get going here at the Horn. Really, really looking forward to this game. I think it's going to be a bit of a barn burner. Fishman looking to block Q with the Chen. Hasn't committed the first skill point yet. The stun is going to be there regardless. Q now eating some of this rot. Does commit the first point now into the ice shards. And that'll likely allow him to live. But without any regen, he can't really TP to lane because he won't have any regeneration. He's going to have some at least by the time he gets there, as he's called the courier now. But he'll need to walk back in. So Exort, I don't know how Exort Invoker, how good it is versus Coddle. I guess with a high ground ward, you can always just, snipe, range creeps, of course, and do a little bit of damage with Sunstrike throughout the laning stage. But this is really fascinating for me as a matchup.
I feel like it's going to be a you farm, I farm kind of lane in many ways, where Coddle just farms more because he's going to have jungle camps and he's going to be illuminating his small camp, stacking it, whereas Invoker is going to be getting harassed a bit more and just, he doesn't have AoE damage. He can't farm the same way a Coddle can.
He does have himself a little friend in lane, though, as he will break out the Forge Spirit. Very useful at harassing the low armor Coddle. But now that we've kind of set up the mid lane, already down bottom, Toby's having a bit of a bad time. Seems like even at level 1, 23 Savage is quite confident that he has enough regen, enough damage to get through Toby. And he's, right now it seems to be right.
Yeah, they're using the Sven to pull. They actually decided not to try and contest this lane. Getting this pull off, though, means they're going to get a lot of denies. They pulled it onto the range creep, so that's going to be an easy range creep deny. And they'll deny at least one, maybe even a couple of these melee creeps. So not contesting the wave pull is pretty unusual. But Talon, the reason they do this is because they got a wave pull of their own, and they're doing the exact same thing. Yep. But the difference is Kataomi's here to leech the XP. So no one's leeching the XP behind the entity tower.
Yeah, Hyde tried to get a little bit, and he maybe got a couple creeps there or two, but certainly not as much as Kataomi did. As that'll be a nice range creep there for 23 Savage, making sure that Kataomi is not going to throw a stun in there and go for a cheeky deny. So level 2 versus level 2, tiny advantage right now for Toby. Just a little one as far as experience goes. And he'll go ahead and kick off the second round of skirmishing. Again, where a lot of the action is, but for now it's actually top lane, where there's a hook onto KP. Taking Whirling Death, however. No points in Timber Chain in this lane so far.
Yeah, nothing cooking too much there. Going to be a hard kill, this Timber Soul. Going for Bracer early into the Soul Ring. But it does feel like this bottom lane is where the action's brewing. Plus the potential for Sunstrikes. 2 points in Exort, so you see these heroes getting low. I'm like, oh, they're not going to kill them. But I'm like, wait a second, there's Sunstrikes. And that, if you're Talon, you probably Makoto's telling his teammates, guys, remember, Sunstrikes will be flying out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they certainly will. For now, just another bit of creep wave shenanigans as they'll go ahead and settle behind the tower and a bit in front of the tower. Check in very quickly on mid lane before we return bottom because they're about to hit level 3 down there, which is, again, where I think this might pop off a little bit. I think you seem to be right. Big deny advantage, courtesy of Stormstormer, though. That might start to play out a bit as far as experience difference goes. But for now, again, Coddle continues to farm. Here we go. Yep. Level 3. So Toby has beaten Bristle to the punch. Bristle's about to get it here, and the wave's pushing under tower, so I don't think Toby's in a great position to utilize his XP advantage.
Yeah, it seems like neither side willing to commit to too much for the time being. I think if Viper had like a more kill-hungry 4 position, like Sven's decent. Like, you've got a stun. Like, it's not a bad setup, but it's not like a Marcy or a Tusk or something.
Yeah, I've got a stun. You even got move speed here, which they're going to now put to work. In comes the first Sunstrike, and it's going to connect. Stormstormer for first blood from the mid lane. Not much Hyde could do there with the headdress and the overcharge. A pick off for Stormstormer.
That's just perfect setup. Like, you put him in a position where he's so slow and he has to run in a straight line. I don't think they kill him without the Sunstrike, but then if he predicts the Sunstrike and tries to dodge it, he's dodging back into the Viper, so he dies either way, even if he dodges the Sunstrike. Just well-executed gank.
Yeah, really, really nicely done here. Is going to really enable the Stormstormer mid. That's the problem with the Exort Invoker, is you just don't rotate very well at all, you know. Quas Wex does rotate very well. There's going to be a second kill in this bottom lane. Q, however, is going to rotate on over and try and at least trade away for Toby. Seems like he'll be able to get through that. But Q actually might end up dying here. 5 stacks of the poison attack. The Wisp regeneration will keep him alive, but it's going to be the level 2 stun from Katomi, which picks up the kill onto Q. He has no TP as well to get back into lane.
There's another Sunstrike. If Kataomi gets a stun in 3 seconds, he may get the kill on Hyde here.
Oh, he's baiting it with the high fives here, guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
There goes Sunstrike.
Yep.
They're gonna do it. Oh, the creeps.
Oh, the creeps.
Katomi. Oh, he's gonna chase Frit. Oh, good little jump out. Hyde. He's not gonna make it.
Oh.
What a
Dude, that
play.
was such a good bait. He played, yeah, he was in his head. He's like, hey, we're just high-fiving, we're chilling, you know? One supporting to another. We'll be friends.
Yeah, absolutely brutal. And now 23 Savage is all alone, God. There's a TP at least on the Wisp at the ready.
Back to lane.
But there might be. There's a Sunstrike. There's another Sunstrike ready, Gods. Yep. They need to share it. And the TP's been canceled by the Wisp. He canceled the TP. They're letting him die. Down he goes. No Sunstrike even needed.
What a disaster. This laning stage is falling apart. Exort Invoker's back, baby. This is being brutal. He's not only the first blood did he actually get the kill for, but he's gotten the assists on all these others.
Here's Makoto, though. He's come to salvage this bottom lane, along with Q and Hyde. I believe he's the one that canceled the TP, not the Wisp, but Katomi is dead all the same. Toby has no TP. Remember, he died and then TP'd back into lane, but Q is not eager to look for a kill onto him. Not when he knows there's a lingering threat of a Sunstrike ready. Now up to level 4, nearly 300 pure damage.
Yeah. I don't think that feels good if you're Talon. That's 4 heroes bottom, and Cuddle rotating without boots of travel. He's got them coming out, but when you don't feel good moving around the map, like, you know, you're moving 365. That's not the super fast mobile Cuddle with, you know, short cooldown on your TP plus super high movement speed.
Invoker. Top lane, they're looking for a kill onto Pure. He's going to turn now with the bite. Stormstormer as well. Sunstrike, pure damage onto KP. Trying to TP out in time. The snowball save is not going to come through. Try to save him with the stun so he can TP in time. Not going to be allowed to happen. And Stormstormer, again, this is showing me why he's the best. Just super opportunistic move. Right when Talent try and seize a moment when they think they can get a kill, Stormstormer is there in position, in time, and completely turns that on its head.
Yeah. He's everywhere. Even when he's just sitting in the mid lane AFK farming, he's everywhere. These Sunstrikes and now the move top with a haste rune. Like you said, the opportunism is just amazing. So many Invokers, particularly in the Exort days, it's like you're just going to stay in your lane and do nothing. He's going treads. He's going drums. He wants to fight and get involved.
He's a fighter. And I mean, to be fair, right, Entity, this game, Exort Invoker, Cataclysm, it's just fine, right? Sure, maybe you get a nice stun on a Stormhammer if enemies mess up, but they're not very likely to make that mistake versus you, right? And I think that this was not a bad solution at all. Going for a very fight-heavy, active Invoker for Stormstormer. Again, this is always what set him apart to me. Really, really excited to see this back in action, pardon.
Yeah. Feels like we're going to be seeing him like play around these early forward spirits a lot. Just really pushing and pressuring these. I mean, that to me is like, why are you going these drums? You just want to buff up your early game pushing forward spirits.
No. Could it be
lane
another one? He's predicted it perfectly. Got
the read.
23 Savage dead. He's level 4 in that lane. He's been trying to jungle. Katomi is going to die as a result of this. So it's something for Talon. But again, 4 heroes in the mid lane just to stop the Invoker. And he's picked up another rune to DD. Thought about going top. He thought about it for a second.
Yeah, he's on a Radiant Ward, so he can't really make any moves anymore, but like that these kills Talon are getting are just it's the inefficient kills that don't feel good. Like you bring in 3 heroes to kill a support after you lose your carry. Bottom lane, they brought in 4 heroes to kill an enemy support. So these are the worst kind of kills to be getting because you're not farming and you're just getting a super low value target.
Smoke on smoke action. It looks like Entity are going to find their mark first.
No,
Mid,
just
onto
TP'd
23
in.
Savage. He's dead again. Down he goes. Toby, in the meantime, down bottom, is in a lot of trouble. My goodness, that solar bind is completely bonkers. Down goes Toby.
Yeah.
It's something for Talon. A pretty major find as well. And Makoto, again, with the boxes right back into the mid lane. But it seems like this tower, it's gone. It's condemned.
Cold snap soon? Okay, no, that's fine. Yep, they get the tower. It looked like he wanted to go for the kill on Makoto, but without the cold snap, he didn't have it.
Should be able to evade that one, yes, and he does. Pretty crucial that he does.
There's the drums now with double Forge Spirits up.
I think they're going to look for KP now. They have a stomp. Pure
top.
looking to close the gap. Doesn't have dismember for 7 seconds, but does have a hook. And here's Stormstormer as well. Cold snap being applied. Hook, Sunstrike, KP. Not going to get hooked into it. Kill goes to Fishman, but it's a kill all the same. So Entity, they take about 30 seconds longer, but they will at least put down the enemy offlaner.
They're just making all the right moves. And when they're making these moves, it's like, okay, we kill the enemy Timbersaw. I hear that's very item dependent, and if you shut down a Timbersaw, he's going to offer very little come mid game. So the moves that Entity are making are just super high impact. Shame killing this Bristle. 23 Savage, 0 and 5 before the 10-minute mark. That is a disaster of a game. It's night and day compared to the Bristle impact from last game.
Yeah, I mean, it's so bad that he's only 600 ahead of Sven. Sven actually has an experience lead on him, which, of course, this was Sven contesting pulls and pulling waves and all that nonsense, but that's how well Katomi's done. They're going to get rid of the ward mid as well, which makes this mid lane even more dangerous now, because to be honest, something like a Sven +1, not even Invoker, can very easily result in a kill there. All the while, right, Pure is just continuing to farm away.
Another smoke, this 2-man Sven Invoker combo. The Invoker's just gone up by himself. He's like, no, I don't need these Sven stuns. You go look for a stun and I'll throw a Sunstrike. I'll go by myself.
By Talon. They're not going to contest their jungle too much. There is Q down bottom who is going to be eating a couple of poison attacks. But right now, most of Talon, their attention is drawn upwards on the map towards top lane. Q is going to be scouted. Nice Sunstrike there. He's going to whiff. It allows Q to get off the snowball at least, but it's not going to change, too much about this engagement. Q with a Walrus Punch only slows him more, and the kill goes to Stormstormer.
Yeah. I like that from Entity. It's like they were looking for a high-value kill, and in the end, they don't mind settling for a support as, Pure gets a soul. They don't mind settling for the support Tusk because it's by an objective. So it's like, okay, you smoke it and kill a support's Invoker. By itself, not good. But when you take over this bottom tier 1 tower and enemy jungle, strategically, you put your team in a really good position.
Very true. No, I like how you point that out, actually. Because, a move like that, kind of scares away the Talon cores. Wisp just rotating through the jungle, right? He's going to take a death just due to the positioning. Pure gets another kill. He's getting online. Q is just dead, by the way. He couldn't even move. He got to input 2 commands. The Talon, they're barely playing Dota. Makoto turns around, and that'll actually save him from dying to Sunstrike, but it's not going to save him versus Toby. There he goes. He gets the kill. Hand of God was used, and that's because I think Fishman is just trying to save his creeps. Of course, Fishman of Creep Wave. He always prioritizes the boys.
They pinged the ward on the high ground, but, I mean, you got to expect there to be vision. Entity just took the bottom tier 1 tower. You kind of know they're farming your jungle, and I think walking in there was just almost a suicidal play to be making, particularly when the rest of your team is elsewhere. I guess Talon were looking to make like maybe a relocate move, like if they get a good jump, you relocate in, take a 5v4 fight, catch them by surprise, but
I agree.
They just died too fast.
I agree. And that is the issue. I just don't think they're expecting to die this quickly, right, is the problem. Because I think in theory, especially with a Tusk, that sounds like a good plan to me, right? I snowball, I buy my team 3 or 4 seconds. That allows the reload to come in. Someone TP's tier 2, right? Bada bing, we take a fight. Maybe we turn this game around. Not really how it's working out.
No, I think putting it this way, there was some purpose there, even though it just looked like pointless feeding in the jungle.
Yeah.
Like, Coddle's got this vessel, so they are theoretically strong now. They don't want to just be avoiding fights.
Toby.
Even Bristle is having a tough game. The best way to catch up will be fighting.
All right. That's going to at least let Toby know that there's someone there. So Hyde will live. Now actually Toby might be the one in some
trouble.
trouble. They're going to bring in 23 Savage, now up to level 9. Dismember is onto a neutral creep. Don't be juked here. It's really all action onto Toby, who can do nothing but die as he's slowed to a crawl. Makoto might be a little opportunistic here. He's going to look for a +1. Pure is nearby and in the area, as there's going to be the pick pull for Katomi. Hook is at the ready. 3 heroes here, though, for Talon. It's going to be a defensive hook to save his friend. Sunstrike is not going to connect onto anyone, but neither is the Snowball. Ice Shards as well. Don't trap it back in. And now Makoto even being body blocked by the Wild Wing Ripper. Down he goes. The reload out's not in time. And Makoto just a little bit, just one step too far, and it's going to take a death there.
Yep, and here Io's coming back. Spear's ready for it. He does get the tether out, but great tornado.
Yep, that's going to condemn Hyde. Kill goes to Pure, who was just farming in the vicinity. Now nearly has the full Ag Scepter operational. And that's going to be a brutal one, right? You think about these heroes and how tanky they are. And yes, it's off of strength and items that this Bristle builds, but it's also about regen. This lineup is tanky because they have a lot of regeneration. And this Pudge Ags, yes, amps the damage, but is going to reduce all that by 25%. That is punishing. That is very punishing here for Talon when they hope to try and fight into this. Another kill, by the way, on Q.
Sounds super nice. Or is it? Q, he's got backup.
Oh, you're very right. Shame on me. Stormstormer even feeling pressure to blink out. There is a Dismember in the meantime, though. Hyde, again, gets a sick tether away. Pure is going to be allowed to leave. Q not in position, didn't even have the cooldowns really to stop that stun. So nice awareness there by Pure.
Yeah, things just got a bit disconnected there at the end. And for Talon, this is good news. They finally get to take back their jungle a bit. Hopefully they deward this clip. They've got the sentry there. They just need some high ground vision. Sentry about to expire, but yeah, dewarding this clip and taking away this dire vision is step one to getting themselves back in this game.
It's still going to reveal a couple of heroes here. An Entity, they're going to make use of this. Lots of skeletons here. The rally for Fishman as he brings in now 2 creep waves. Into the triangle goes Katomi. He's going to find a stun there onto KP. Hooked back. Does get off the Hooded Defiance, but yeah, that's not much of a defiant roar there as he will die under the grasp of the Pudge. Stonestormer picks up the kill. Another Sunstrike kill. And they're going to go for Roche here for Entity. Okay.
These skellies, they're just shredding. Oh my god, they hit fast with Penitence too.
Oh yeah, that's some good stuff. Everything in the pit as well with +6 damage because of the rallies. Plus more even, I think +12 you get up to there. Or 15, a bit higher. It's ridiculous how much you can get. An Aegis now for Pudge to time here with his Ag Scepter. Does not have Hooded Defiance or the Nether Shawl yet, but still very tanky.
Yeah, I think this is a problem for Talon. They're going to need to kind of pick and choose their fights wisely and realistically probably heavily avoid this Pudge. It's not one of those scenarios where they can blow him up once and then try and kill him a second time. I think they're just going to have to try and somehow find a way onto the backlines. There's so much heal and sustain on the dire side as well.
Mr. Savage is going to be stunned. Pure closing the gap. There's a reload being channeled right now. They need to cancel, but they won't.
Ooh. Nice attempt from Pure. I think he was trying to fish around for either the TP in or the IO. But with the relocate coming back,
Did scare back.
Hyde needs a quick tether.
And he's not going to get it. Very difficult to do, of course, when the Pudge is right on top of you. Number is not the longest cast animation. TPs, though, they're going to go back down bottom lane where Stormstormer has caught a Tusk. And that is a kill very easily here for Stormstormer. Kodo trying to make himself a clean getaway here. Katomi with no Blink Dagger quite yet is not going to be able to close the gap. Who, by the way, Katomi immediately, 15 minutes hits, he buys this shard. So now, again, up to 65%. From 0 armor all the way to 20. Well, eventually when you get the 20 talent. But right now, it's still something like above 50% physical resist. Very, very strong to have versus the Bristle, who is not even going to go for Ag's first item, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, just, I guess, feeling like things are in a pretty desperate position, needing the BKB. He's going to be relying more on, like, single target right-click damage, which, you know, will add up for a Bristle, but he's got no BKB yet. He's been found.
Yeah, and there's just no escape for him, yeah.
Boy.
They tell me he's going to throw the stun now, but with the Sven nearby, there's just no chance there. Plenty of damage. The break on top of the vessel
Fishman.
is a very, very dead hero. They will get Creep Wave. Sorry, they will get Fishman, pardon.
Catch Entity a little bit split up there. Fishman not getting the memo, being completely ditched in the enemy jungle.
Yep.
But
Not too bad, though. He does keep alive his, all of the creeps even. He's got himself 2 of these Satyr Mind Stealers, I guess for the mana burn maybe? Maybe he just likes mana. But most importantly, he's kept the Centaur Courser alive. Again, this 15% aura is amazing. Underneath Tier 2 tower, it's an easy kill. No place is safe from the Dismember of Pure.
yeah, up to 9 Flesh Shape stacks, so doing pretty well so far as the old HUD scaling goes. But they're not really committed to any kind of one lane. I think something you look around the mini-map and see where Entity are playing, they're still focusing on being efficient. They're farming top while pushing, they're farming enemy jungle, while they're also hunting for kills. So they're not just trying to 5-man end this game by going high ground. I think they recognize that, you know, they're going to need some more time and probably to take this a little bit later, even with an Aegis. They can't end the game quite yet.
Nope, they cannot. Yeah, they can't. This one is, you know, might be a bit one-sided for now, but Entity not really in a position to do as they please. But they have found KP on their side of the map. They're going to burn his mana, even more so with the EMP. That's a blink in by Pure, who is going to go ahead and Dismember for the kill. His 10th Flesh Heap stack this game.
Toby's still camping out this enemy ancient area too. He's gone charging in. He's got to spin behind him.
Okay. He forces
no backup.
Yeah, he forces the BKB. Here comes Pure. Is he going to hook offensively or defensively? It's going to be an offensive hook. Has Dismember. Will turn and use it now. Hyde has no relocate.
Okay. No.
So 23 Savage is going to tick down. They have gone through Katomi, and now the Viper, but Pure blinking forward and connects the hook onto Q, who is going to just go ahead and accept the death. Tips coming in to Pure. It's going to be, I think, 3 kills for him there, isn't it?
Wow. And that's all set from Toby. Like, such selfless play from the Viper, just to, you know, he's playing under his vision. He's just like, okay, I'm going to get these heroes to go on me and kind of look out of position, slow them down, and he knows that his Pudge is close enough, rotating on over, that he can clean up the fight. So he'll be willing to give his life for the cause, and it's a cause where Talon are really starting to struggle.
Oh, yeah. Net worth lead now approaching the 10k mark. Pure is farming shamelessly in the enemy triangle. Why not? Even less farm than for the Bristle that's available, as the Aegis is reclaimed from the Pure Pudge. Talon.
Let me just roaming on through.
Yeah, we'll certainly have time to that. There's a 9-second BKB now waiting for Coddle. 23 Savage, 10 seconds till he's got his 8-second charge ready. Unbeknownst to them, though, there's a ward in the base. They will leave under the ward, but at least they didn't smoke under a ward, so their movements at least slightly obfuscated. Not super clear to Entity, at least, who are just, again, continuing to push around the map.
They've got some vision up on Talon. It's just kind of all over the place, like, and very far away from their base. It's in places where they're too weak to go fight around their vision. They need to prioritize just like securing themselves some farm and like fighting around some of these high ground cliffs.
Check out this scan as well from Entity. I believe that Stormstormer scans. He sends forward the Forge Spirits. He thinks he's being smoke ganked in the triangle. Heads up move there.
He's on point, and he's got an Aghanims queued up, so we could see some. He manages to get that Ags.
Yep. And even if this, oh, there's a smoke play coming by Entity, by the way. They're gonna sneak.
Just finished BKB on Pudge.
Could be punishing. There they go. There's going to be the war cry on in. Underneath a ward right now is where Talon are holding, but the blink in is going to be on a KP. Walrus punch to interrupt. The Sunstrike absorbed by 3. 23 Savage BKBs. Pure will follow suit here. They need to focus down onto the Worth Pack. It's already down, but they've taken down the Wisp. Q as well, unable to escape. 23 Savage stuck in between a million skeletons. It's going to go down. KP at least able to TP away, but 23 Savage, you blink and you miss him. He was there and then he wasn't.
He just got obliterated, surrounded by a bunch of Chen creeps, and just got eaten alive. They're just going to go diving in the base here. It's a 5 versus 2, and Makoto can't afford to get too close. But
Stormer sets up for the hook. The Dismember at least is reflective and puts KP in a compromising position with the Vessel debuff. It's going to be the Stormhammer that actually condemns them. They're going to fortify, trying to get this kill into Katomi, and they're not going to get it.
It's out okay. And he got very low from the Fortify, so they're going to have to back off. The one, perhaps, cost to the slight dive there is that they don't get the tower any racks, but they know the position they're in is an incredibly strong one. Their draft continues to scale, while on the Radiant side, like this Bristle and Timber, two heroes that, like these heroes can go late game, but they generally rely on being like pretty damn farmed, especially at Bristleback. And it's only Coddle who has farm at all. Speaking of
good save, at least prevents the hook from coming through. Pure now, he's going to have to settle at least for Walrus. That's fine, he likes Walrus. Godlike now on Pure. I hear a BKB, and that's because 23 Savage is running down Toby. Stormstormer doing what he can here, has given Alacrity buff to Toby. Oh, Relo out here is going to supersede the teleport out. And at least it's a pick-off.
He's coming back.
Big target.
He's not going for the Io. The Pudge is looking for other heroes, but realizes he's going to come back and settle.
Down he goes. Oh, up to the high ground goes Pure. 23 Savage BKB actually got pushed into that hook. That was really weird.
Dire's turret has been killed.
Keep on out. Stormstormer's out of mana, so it looks like they're going to settle for a Roshan here. Not up just yet. Still a minute and a half away. A bit of a longer Rosh respawn. I think Entity are probably saying, you know, settle down, guys. Let's not go diving too hard. Like, diving's okay, you know, when you've got numbers and you've got like a blink stun set up and hook someone in, but you don't want to go face planting into towers here.
Yeah, certainly not. Oh, this is going to feel so bad. Q at least is going to get the money for this D ward, but that ward lasted on the high ground for 6 minutes and 55 seconds of its 7-minute lifespan. That's brutal.
Yeah. They got a lot of value out of it, and they're not done. They've got more vision. They want to fight around this enemy Radiant Triangle. Pure. Charging forward.
Nearly get it. He's got that green hook as well, so he knows how to throw a hook or two versus Rubik's. Went for a Kaya, going for the E-Blade Pudge now. As Entity basically just look for pickoffs, look for kills while they wait for Roche to respawn.
It'll be any second now. 30 seconds, in fact, to wait as Stormstormer is going in alone. He going for the solo kill in the Io.
And he's beating him here. There's going to be the tether out in time, but the rest of Entity not looking to close the gap as Pure has found an eat onto KP, and with the hook damage, not quite enough for the kill. Oh, almost lives through that, but is going to fall all the same. Q as well dies to Toby. TP is going for 23 Savage as Makoto is going to BKB and TP away. Eyes now on Pure and Katomi, who are going hunting for a Bristleback who has BKB, has TP. Just needs to make sure he doesn't get caught here by the Dismember.
How greedy is he going to be? Is he going to BKB TP?
Toby.
Standard TP. Does he get caught if he goes for it?
He's got a Wisp nearby with Relo. Entity. They know something's up. Oh my goodness, look at that game sense here. Map's dark for them, but no. They're going to call it. They're going to go ahead and get out of here. Ooh, that was tense.
Somehow. 23 Savage still wants to cut some waves, it looks like. He's not TPing. He doesn't want to be trapped in his base. He wants to have access to farm on the map.
There's the Radiant scan. Lets him know that at least there's enemies in Roche. Harden still doesn't see any enemy heroes on the map. Only knows that Stormstormer was top recently, but decides it's safe enough now to push a wave or two.
It's a sad state of affairs nonetheless that when you're hiding as a Bristleback. Usually it should be the other way around. You know, you're this big tanky beast that everyone wants to run away from, but he's playing the split pusher and cutting waves when enemies aren't around, running away when they are around. And if that's the state of the game as a Bristleback, it's probably getting close to a lost cause. They need to find something miraculous to turn this one around.
Going hunting.
Radiant's top tower is
Don't
under
know
attack.
if he let him know he's nearby with the Shadow Walk yet. Ghost Walk, sorry.
I think it did, but at least it didn't look like it's me. And here comes the Pudge.
Uh-oh. Okay, hides.
Gotta relocate
position.
out.
There comes the Relo. Pure, he predicted it!
Oh,
He's
what a
gonna
hook.
find the Wisp. That's gonna condemn Pure as well. Sorry, 23 Savage make it. What a play.
Super sick. He read him like a book. And Talon get caught again on their tusk. Another TP cancel. Pure playing with his food at this point, but he is just gobbling them up.
Yeah. In the meantime, they're also losing high ground. Toby got 7 stacks of the poison attack up on the enemy tower here. He's going to get right back to work now. Katomi as well joining the cause. All the other waves are being pushed up by the 2 remaining cores of Entity, but the tier 3 tower and the base of Talon is starting to crumble. There goes Katomi as well. Stun reflected. He's going to at least stun up the Chen, but Toby is already going. Pure as well, just waiting here. Finds a hook versus the Wisp. The Sunstrike is going to be the thing to kill KP. Oh goodness, gods, this one's wow.
Radiant's top barracks
I mean,
has
Pure
fallen.
and Stormstormer, they're putting on a bit of a show. 11-0-17 Invoker, 15-0-9 on the Pudge.
Radiant's top
But
barracks
I mean,
has
obviously,
fallen.
hats off to the supporting cast too. Like players like Toby and Kataomi, willing to play the selfless role, set up their teammates for success, and just a treat to watch Entity play with their unique play style.
Walrus Punch, Tornado is not going to find its mark. There is a Cataclysm ready to go here in just a couple of seconds. 23 Savage pops the BKB, fighting outside of the fountain. He decides this is one step too far, Entity. You shall not enter the fountain. Stormstormer, though, free to leave for now. Q going to give chase here. No Walrus Punch for 4 seconds, but doesn't need it. That's a big kill on a Stormstormer. 1,100 gold into the pockets of the Bristle.
Yeah, he was so close to blinking out there. They managed to just keep the damage on
They're
him.
going back in. And there they go. Onto High. They're going to kick it off. He's dead already. Has buyback the hook onto 23 Savage, who has no BKB. Pure no dismember for 15 more seconds, however. KP looking to re-enter this fight as well. It's 23 Savage going to be broken and just immediately killed. There's just not enough regen here for him once he's broken by the Viper. They have reflected the snowball here. Pure, though, continuing to do damage to 23 Savage. He can't even get the kill onto Fishman. Pure on an ultra kill, looking for the rampage. Is going to find Q. Walrus Punch is only going to stop him for a second because the hook comes through, and that is a rampage from Pure and a 2-0 for Entity.
Fishman, Dendi is back heel, chats. You love to see it. These guys are a player from the Eastern European region making the call, and his teammate popping off on this.